Every parent wishes for their child to find a true friend. But what if that friend exists only in the shadows? Get ready to relive the adventure as we recap the story of horror and fantasy film today. Imaginary, production year 2024. The movie begins with a woman named Jessica, who is being pursued by a being that masquerades as her father Ben. The being appears as a terrifying spider before Jessica awakens in her bed, as it was merely a nightmare. Jessica is a prize-winning writer of the children's book series Molly Millipede. She is wed to Max and acts as a stepmother to his daughters, Taylor and Alice. Although Alice has connected nicely with Jessica, Taylor continues to be difficult with her. The family relocates to Jessica's childhood residence, which she had to vacate following a childhood incident with Ben, who seemed to lose control and assault her, resulting in scars on her arms. Later that day, Alice enters Jessica's room while she is working and talks about her concerns about Simon, a character from her book. Jessica explains that not every negative character in her story is completely evil, some are good too. Alice notices Jessica's concern. Due to her work schedule, she invites her to come over and play with her, and Jessica immediately agrees and suggests they play hide and seek. However, while they are playing, Jessica receives a call and runs out of the house. Alice continues to search for Jessica and ends up in the basement. There she finds a teddy bear that introduces itself as Chauncey. The bear can psychically communicate, saying that he is feeling hungry. Then Alice takes the bear upstairs to her room. In the meantime, Taylor notices an odd woman, Gloria, gazing at her from her window. When she steps outside to look, she encounters a neighbor boy, Liam. When he attempts to ask Taylor to spend time together, Jessica intervenes, causing Taylor to feel uncomfortable and retreat to her room in frustration. Jessica and Max find it adorable that Alice has an imaginary friend, as Chauncey is always by her side. During the night, Jessica catches a glimpse of Alice hosting a tea party with Chauncey. She then listens as Alice compliments someone on how they look, and Jessica hears a woman reply with "thank you." The woman is the mentally unstable mother of Samantha, Taylor, and Alice. She charges at Jessica until the girls pull Samantha away. The police show up with Max, and Taylor admits to her father that she had been messaging her mom, believing she was improving. Jessica subsequently tucks Alice into bed and attempts to discuss the incident with her. But Alice replies that Chauncey is aware Jessica would comprehend, as she had a friend similar to him during her childhood. Later, Gloria approaches Jessica and introduces herself, mentioning that she was her babysitter when Jessica was a child living in that house, but Jessica hardly recalls her days there before her mother died. Max departs for personal matters, entrusting Jessica with the care of the girls. Alice engages in a scavenger hunt with Chauncey, while Jessica sneaks away to see Ben at the nursing home where he resides. He has lost a great deal of his sanity following the incident, while Jessica continues to attempt to connect and speak with him. He becomes frantic and seizes Jessica's wrist, inflicting pain and leading her to depart. Taylor asks Liam to visit, much to Alice's annoyance. Liam provides Taylor with drugs, which are eventually disclosed to be merely his mother's allergy medication, and attempts to persuade her to raid Max's supply of alcohol. Once Liam shatters a bottle, he fetches towels to tidy up, but he notices what appears to be Chauncey nearby as the string on his back is completely extended, playing the melody that goes with the bear. The string emerges from the shadows as Chauncey moves closer to Liam until he releases the string. Chauncey then seems to transform into a more fearsome bear, causing Liam to stumble back in terror. Jessica shows up, locates him, and then reaches out to Liam's mom before reprimanding Taylor. Jessica discovers that certain drawings of hers are missing their heads, which she knows Alice is responsible for. She enters Alice's room and attempts to have a sincere conversation about her behavior related to her mom, a situation Jessica can relate to given her own experience with her dad. She then hears and spots Alice outside, coming to the realization that she was merely speaking to Chauncey beneath the blankets. Jessica retrieves and examines the scavenger hunt list, discovering a few items related to it. Something that frightens you, a jar filled with bugs. Something that could land you in trouble, the cutouts of Jessica's artwork. And something that causes pain. Jessica observes Alice taking a section of a wooden fence and preparing to pierce her palm with it. She views it as a flower, but Jessica quickly shifts the board aside, the nail barely touching Alice's arm. Jessica requests that a psychologist, Dr. Soto, come to talk with Alice. Dr. Soto documents the session and observes Alice as she converses with Chanty, apparently communicating for him. Chanty becomes increasingly aggressive, referring to Jessica as fake mommy, until Alice turns around and Dr. Soto notices that Alice isn't speaking while Chanty is addressing her. During a private conversation with Jessica, Dr. Soto mentions that she did not observe a bear. Jessica subsequently inquires of Taylor whether she spotted the bear, to which Taylor replies negatively. Jessica then examines the tape and realizes that there is indeed no actual teddy bear present, and only she and Alice were capable of truly seeing Chanty. Dr. Soto additionally presents Jessica with a video of a boy named Lewis, who severed his thumb after his imaginary companion, Randy Rabbit, made him endure the same ordeal that Chanty is putting Alice through. Lewis also states, "Never ever," similar to what Alice says. Alice subsequently vanishes following another conversation with Chanty. Jessica and Taylor venture into the streets to search for her, while Taylor accuses Jessica of being responsible for Alice's disappearance because her presence has disrupted their lives. Taylor steps outside alone again and encounters Gloria, who welcomes her into her house to clarify what occurred with Jessica during her childhood. Chanty was her childhood imaginary companion, but her father intervened and went crazy because of it, which caused Jessica to get hurt. Jessica rummages through her old items and discovers a sketch she created of a location named the Never Ever. She sketches over the doodles she created in her room as a kid before Taylor and Gloria come back. They determine that to unlock the door to the Never Ever, they must participate in the scavenger hunt. Jessica collects various items prior to reaching the Something That Hurts section. Then she pierces her hand with scissors and places everything in a bowl to set on fire. Nothing occurs until Jessica bluntly accuses Taylor of causing Alice's disappearance since she ought to have been supervising her sister. With Taylor's feelings wounded and Jessica having felt pain in expressing it, their genuine hurt is sufficient to unlock the door. The women step into the Never Ever, a realm governed by the fantasies of the children living there. While looking for Alice, they encounter a door displaying the night of the event from Jessica's childhood. Ben had rescued her from the Never Ever, but Chanty, or the being identifying as Chanty, was attempting to draw him back in. Ben gazed into the beast's eyes, which is what drove him insane, but he did it to guarantee that Chanty could never claim his daughter. Gloria shuts the door that would lead them out, as she has been fixated for years on discovering the origin of imaginary friends after being ridiculed for her research. As she contemplates the infinite possibilities of this world, Chanty materializes in his monstrous bear shape and rips Gloria to shreds. Jessica and Taylor successfully locate Alice in a space designed to resemble the family's former apartment in the city. Alice is attired like a princess amidst gifts, and Samantha is present as well. Jessica and Taylor need to persuade Alice that it isn't real, and Jessica succeeds in opening a new exit for them to escape. Chanty then loses control and attempts to assault. Taylor and Alice exit as Chanty pursues Jessica in his giant bear shape. Jessica pierces his eye and manages to get through the door to hug the girls. Jessica takes Max and the girls to see Ben. Taylor expresses regret for their actions, while Alice refers to Jessica as Mom, at which point Jessica understands she remains in the Never Ever. Chanty had always intended to use Alice as bait because Jessica was his true target for leaving him as a child. Since it seems Jessica will continue to be held captive by Chanty, Taylor comes back to rescue her. Chanty transforms into his real spider monster form and attempts to seize Jessica, gazing at her with his eyes and almost driving her insane like her father. Alice observes spilled lighter fluid and tosses a lit match onto it, resulting in Chanty igniting and becoming trapped behind the door. After Jessica and the girls get away, the remainder of the house burns down. The following day, Jessica, Taylor, and Alice attempt to check into a hotel, but they become startled upon noticing a teddy bear emerging from behind a chair. It actually belongs to a young boy, who informs his mother about his imaginary companion Rufus. The camera subsequently shifts to reveal that the bear is indeed the same Chauncey bear as before, and showing this story ends here. Appreciate a subscribe and please remember to like. Thanks for watching.